Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Al Jazeera reports that Ukraine has escalated its attacks on Russia's energy infrastructure. Striking the Black Sea energy hub of Novorossiysk, Ukrainian military officials stated that an overnight drone attack targeted the Admiral Makarov missile carrier and a drilling rig in the port, which is Russia's largest oil exporting outlet on the Black Sea. The objective is to disrupt financing for Moscow's ongoing war. Russian authorities confirmed 8 people, including 2 children, were injured in Novorossiysk, though they did not specify if the port itself was hit. Videos verified by Al Jazeera showed a fire at one of the oil port's docks. Russia's military claimed to have downed 148 Ukrainian drones over a 3-hour period, with officials reporting power outages affecting nearly 500,000 households. The Caspian Pipeline Consortium, CPC terminal, exporting Kazakh oil with major U.S. shareholders like Chevron and ExxonMobil, is located in the Novorossiysk port area and was also reportedly attacked. Ukraine's intensified efforts follow a temporary sanctions waiver granted to Russia by former U.S. President Donald Trump, which Kyiv officials believe will allow Moscow to buy more weapons. The strikes in Novorossiysk occurred a day after Ukrainian drones also hit Russia's Baltic Sea port of Primorsk and the North Sea oil refinery in Nizhny Novgorod. Meanwhile, a Russian drone attack on Odessa, Ukraine, killed 2 women and a toddler and wounded 16 others, including a pregnant woman and 2 children. Russian strikes also hit energy infrastructure in the Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, and Dnipro regions, leaving over 300,000 households in Chernihiv without electricity. Al Jazeera reports that 5 major Iranian civilian bridges are at risk of U.S. strikes following President Donald Trump's Bridge Day ultimatum. Trump has threatened to demolish critical Iranian infrastructure, including bridges and power plants, if Iran does not open the Strait of Hormuz by Wednesday. These threats come after previous U.S. and Israeli airstrikes already targeted Iranian universities, hospitals, schools, and other civilian sites, including the newly constructed B-1 bridge in Karaj, killing 8 civilians. Analysts suggest this is part of a de-developed strategy. The article highlights 5 specific bridges based on their scale and economic importance: the unfinished Persian Gulf Bridge, a 700-millimeter project key to international trade routes; the Lake Urmia Bridge, which connects major provinces and whose destruction could cause an ecological disaster; the Sadr multi-level expressway in Tehran, a crucial commuter artery whose damage could lead to mass casualties and transport chaos; the Karun 4 Arch Bridge, posing a risk of dam damage and downstream flooding if struck; and the Ghadir cable-stayed bridge in Avaz, a city central to Iran's oil and steel sectors, where an attack would sever the city and disrupt emergency services. Experts warn that such actions would constitute war crimes. CBS News reports that Pope Leo XIV, the first American-born pontiff, used his inaugural Easter Sunday Mass to deliver a powerful message calling for peace in the Middle East. The significant address took place during the traditional Easter Sunday observance, marking a notable moment in his papacy. His call for peace and unity resonates globally, particularly given the ongoing tensions in the region. The pontiff emphasized the importance of reconciliation and dialogue, urging leaders and communities to work towards a lasting resolution. This declaration sets an early tone for his leadership on global issues. Al Jazeera reports that civilians in Sana'a, Yemen, are expressing profound fears following the Houthi rebels' decision to involve themselves in the United States-Israeli war on Iran. Residents like Yasser, an ice cream shop owner, and Ammar Ahmed, a taxi driver, anticipate a return of Israeli airstrikes reminiscent of attacks in 2024 and 2025 that caused widespread horror. These fears are compounded by concerns of displacement, severe fuel shortages, and rampant inflation, which would further destabilize Yemen's already critical humanitarian and economic situation. Houthi leader Abdel Malik al-Houthi justified the intervention by stating that staying out was not a smart option and that a Zionist plan targets all of us. While Houthi supporters express faith in their leadership, economists like Wafiq Saleh warned that direct involvement would severely damage maritime navigation in the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, paralyze the fishing sector, and disrupt humanitarian aid, leading to deeper economic burdens for Yemenis already exhausted by a decade of internal conflict. Apartment owners are even cautious about renting to officials, fearing their properties could become targets. The U.S. stock market exhibited hesitant movements on Monday, while crude oil prices remained unsettled amid ongoing efforts by mediators to broker a ceasefire agreement. This comes ahead of a critical deadline set by President Donald Trump to potentially bomb Iranian power plants. According to the Canadian press, the S&P 500 saw a slight rise of 0.1%, following its first weekly gain in 6 weeks, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average dipped 107 points and the Nasdaq Composite gained 0.4%. The volatility in oil prices, which fluctuated between gains and losses, reflects deep uncertainty surrounding the conflict with Iran and its potential impact on global oil and natural gas flows. Recent events include a wave of attacks by Israel and the United States in Iran, killing 25 people, to which Iran responded with missile fire on Israel and its Gulf Arab neighbors. Trump has threatened devastating strikes on Iran's infrastructure, including power plants and bridges, if the Strait of Hormuz is not reopened, warning of hell if demands are not met. Mediators from Egypt, Pakistan, and Turkey have proposed a 45-day ceasefire and the reopening of the strait, but neither side has responded yet. Oil prices have surged significantly since the conflict began 5 weeks ago, prompting nations like Japan and South Korea to explore alternative energy routes. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.